Hi, Sabrina there with another tutorial for you, and this tutorial is for a scarf of mine that shows you how to do a cursive writing in the bottom of the scarf. I posted a picture before the video so you guys can get a good idea, and I'm actually going with this beautiful burgundy red and white, and I'm going to write love in cursive on the beanie, and I'm going to show you how to do that for those people that want to put names and make it personal for a scarf. This is how you do it. So I'm going to show you how to do a basic scarf. This is very easy to make. We're going to be using nothing but double crochet, slip stitch, and we're going to be adding some tassels to this and making it very cute. I'm actually going to be writing the word love on it and making this like a Valentine's gift for a good friend of mine. So we're going to be needing some War's Weight yarn. I'm using red and white of the Super Saver War's Weight yarn, and this is actually not red, this is actually a dark brick color, and I really like this color. So this is the color I'll be using. We will be needing a 6mm hook, which is a J hook, and a tapestry needle. This is going to help us sew in the name and the loose ends of our scarf. So make sure you have one of these, because without this you won't be able to do this project. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a slip knot. And to do a slip knot, we're going to wrap the yarn over our fingers twice. I like to tuck it behind my fingers, bring it over, put my hook through, and release it off my hook just like so. We are going to chain up 150. 1, 2. And to do a chain, you just wrap the yarn over your hook and go right through that loop. That's 3. So continue on until you get to 150. And 50. There's 150 right there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to double crochet in the third chain from the hook. So this is 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to wrap the yarn over our hook, go into the chain, pull, wrap the yarn over your hook again, pull through, wrap the yarn over, and pull through 2, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2. That's a double crochet. Now we are going to double crochet all the way down to the end of our chain. So I will do that with you. Wrap the yarn over your hook, go into the chain, pull through, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2. And that's how you do a double crochet. Wrap the yarn over, go into the chain, and wrap the yarn over again, pull through, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2, wrap the yarn over, pull through 2. Let's double crochet all the way to the end of this scarf. Look at, I got a little white thread in there. I was sewing earlier, making some cute little cupcakes. These are my loose ends. Which the tutorial's there, so check out that tutorial too. You can always add a little cupcake on here. So we're just going down the chain, as you can see, and I'm going to get all the way close to the end and come back here with mine almost to the end and show you what we're going to do for the next row. You continue on crocheting in each of the chains and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I'm closer to the end here, as you can see. I got a couple more to do. One more. Now, that's my last one for that row. You're going to chain up 2, 1, 2. You're going to turn your work around, double crochet in the same stitch as your chain 2. And we're going to double crochet all the way down again. So I'm going to do a couple with you, and I'm going to stop the video and come back with it almost at the end again. And we're around 2. Row 2. So here I am, closer to the end of the other row 2, and I have a few more double crochets to finish. Okay, do have one more. Actually, no, that's not my last one. Okay, so once we get to the end, as you can see here, we are going to chain up 2, and we're going to turn our work around, double crochet in the same as the chain 2, and double crochet all the way back again. We're going to do this up to probably the 6th row. Maybe, yeah, the 6th row would be kind of small. Probably the 8th row. We'll see when we get there pretty much. Like, I freestyle most of my work here. I don't write most of my work down, which I should, but we're gonna do this exactly the way it's supposed to look like. And we are on row 3 right now, and I'm double crocheting all the way across again. Until I get to the other side of the end. Now I'm going to do this off the camera, and I'm going to go up to my 6th row. So when you get to the end, of course, you're going to do the last one, chain up 2, turn your work around, double crochet in the same as the chain 2 space, and double crochet all the way across again. And you're going to repeat that same thing over and over again until you get to row 6. We're on row 3, and this is row 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to go all the way up to row 6 and come back here with row 6 finish, and hopefully that'll be enough. If not, we're going to go to row 8. But I'm pretty sure row 6 or row 8 will be the right number, but I'm not sure yet. So we're going to do baby steps on this one. That's what I call it. And we're going to go up to row 6 on the project. So continue doing yours until you get to row 6. And we're just double crocheting all the way down. Okay, I'm back here. I've already gone up to my 6th row. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have about 3 more stitches for the 6th row. And I believe this is a good size for the scarf. If you want your scarf to be more thicker for like a man, you can go up 2 more rows for or 1 row. It really doesn't matter. You can go up 1 more row and it'll come up to that thick, or 2 rows be that thick right where my finger's at right here. So here's the size I have, and it's a very good thickness here. Four inches. You can go up 1 more row, it'll be 5 inches. Or if you want to get it more thicker, you can go up to 6 rows. And you're just basically doing the same thing, double crocheting back and forth until you get to that row. So it depends on what you desire. And you know what? I actually think I might go up to the 5th row. But no, I'm not. I'm going to keep it just like this. So what I'm going to do now is right here at the end, I'm going to chain up 1, and we're going to work along this part of the scarf here, and we're going to do that in half double crochet. So after we chained up 1, we're going to turn this where we need to have it, wrap the yarn over your hook, and for a double crochet we're going to put 2 where the posts are at. So here's a post for the double crochet, and you want to put 2 half double crochets for each post. So there's 2 there, and here we are with another double crochet here. So you want to put 2 posts there, 2 half double crochets there where the post is at. So you're just looking for those double crochet posts that we have, and we're crocheting right onto that post, and you're putting 2 half double crochets for each post, 1 and 2. The next one right here, 1 and 2. The next post, wrap the yarn over your hook, just go in there, pull through, wrap the yarn over, pull through all 3. And last but not least, 2 posts, half double crochet twice, and there we go. So that's how we made that area look nice and clean and everything like that. So now we're going to work along the other side here. And we're going to go around this thing. So we're going to chain up 1, and for each of the stitches here we're going to single crochet in each one of the stitches on the side here. So you want to just single crochet all the way down the 150, actually I think it's 148 now, because we did decreased by 2 when we first started. So it's 148 stitches all the way down pretty much. So we're just single crocheting all the way down. In each of the stitches on the side. And this is where we started with our chain of 150, and we're just crocheting right over that chain pretty much with the single crochet. It gives it a kind of like a border, a good look to the scarf, and it holds all your stitches very well together. So the scarf doesn't come flimsy or yanks apart and becomes longer than it's supposed to. This holds it all together by putting the single crochet all the way down the line. Okay, so here I am at the other end, and I got some loose ends trying to get into the camera. So what we're going to do here is we're going to do the same thing that we did on the other side. We're going to, I have one more, let me do that one more. You're going to chain up one, and we're going to half double crochet twice in each of the double crochet posts. So here's one post, you're going to wrap the yarn over your hook, go into that post, pull through, wrap the yarn over, pull through all three. Wrap the yarn over, go into that same post, pull your yarn through, wrap the yarn over, and pull through all three. So now you have two half double crochets over the posts. We're going to do that for every post all the way down until we get to the other side. 2 half double crochets for every post. I'm laying down my loose straggler so I can crochet right over it so I don't have to sew it in at the end. Now we're back to the other side. You're going to chain up one. We're going to turn our work around onto the other side and single crochet all the way down in each of the stitches. So I'm going to do mine off the camera. I'm going to do a few here, and then I'm going to go off the camera and finish it at the end. So you just single crocheting all the way across in each of the stitches until you get back to the other side of the scarf. Okay, so if I've gone ahead and single crocheted all the way down, I have one more to do. So I'm going to single crochet into that last one, and what I'm going to do is slip stitch in the chain on one space, and we're going to fasten this off. So you're going to get your scissors, cut a little tail, pull that tail right through that loop. Pull nice and tight to give it that little knot that you need. Then you're going to get your needle, thread your needle, and we're going to sew in that loose end. To sew in the loose end, I normally just go up on my stitches and bring it right back down again, locking it into place so it doesn't loosen up again when it's washed in the machine or anything like that. So now I'm going to cut the loose end off, and our scarf is done. Now we can just add the tassels, and the tassels are pretty much easy. I'm going to show you how to do one for right now. You're going to cut some yarn here, and they're going to be about, depending on how long you want your tassels. I'm going to go with, let me see, where's my, there it is. Get my measuring tape here. I'm going to go with about 12 inches on this one. So I'm going to be cutting this 12 inches off of a piece of string here. And I really don't need this, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down the strings and cut 12 inches off every strand. And you want to cut at least, say, 6 of them, 4 to 6 of them for each one. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So here we go. There's 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So we're going to get our hook again. And our loose ends right here are open holes that we did, the 6 of them. We're going to take these loose strands here, fold it in half. See how I have that in half? You're going to go in your first double crochet that you did here, put your hook right into that loop that you see. You're going to see your loops come out from doing the half double crochets. And you're going to take your strands, pull it through, and then you're going to have this little loop here. You're going to feed the rest of the yarn right through that loop and pull tight. And that's how you make your tassels. And you're going to do that for every one. So you have 6 rows, you're going to do 6 of these. And if they're uneven at the end, don't worry about it. You can just cut the loose ends off and straighten them up. But this is how you do your tassels. Now for the name. The name is pretty much simple, or any word that you're going to put on there. You're going to make a slip knot, and you're going to make a chain. I can't tell you how many because I don't know what name you're going to be putting on there. So what I normally do is I just make a really long chain, and I just keep on crocheting it until I have like a chain long enough to put my name or the word that I want to put on there. So I'm just chaining up and chaining up. And what you want to do here, so you don't lose any of your yarn and go to waste, you just make a chain, and I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm just going to make a long chain here. Okay, so I have a chain here. It's not even that long, as you can see, but it's pretty long. And when you're going to do the lettering, or however you're going to do it, like I'm going to put love, so I'm going to start with the letter L. You want to start up here, and I'm going to do this in cursive. This is the best way to do this. And you're bringing it down, and you're just pretty much wrapping it around until you get it into that cursive look. And there is the L. Look at that. And for the O, all you're going to do is pretty much make an O. So I got to make a bigger chain to make this a little bit longer. And this is how I do this. So I'm going to keep on making a longer chain. Okay, we're going to stop there. So as you can see, I have my L here. And there's the L. And then we're going to do the O. There's the O. And this will be the V, or like the subscriber that wanted me to do this for them. Her son's name is Lolo, so she'll do another L. So she'll bring this thing down and bring it all the way up just like so, and put another O just like this. And she'll be sewing that on like that. And that's her son's name. But as for me, I'm doing love. I'm going to do it with the V and then with the E, like so. Now yes, it does look kind of funky right now, but And if you have extra, all you have to do is just pull on your the other loose end, and you bring it all in. So then you don't have to have all that yarn just thrown in the trash or in your recycling, like I recycle. So there's my E, and I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to cut off the rest of my yarn. So I'm going to get my scissors here. And before I cut it off, I have to have a long piece of string so I could sew this on. And I'm going to sew it in from one end to the other, so that's how much I'm cutting. As you can see, it's pretty long string. So I'm going to feed this through this little last end here. And it is a long string. Pull tight. Now I'm going to get my needle. I'm going to thread in my end. And let me fix this again, because when I pulled it through, got undone. V, E, and you're playing with this yarn to make it look as perfect as possible, so just keep on playing with it. It's not like the easiest thing to do, but it is easier than crocheting the word and trying to put each letter on there. This actually looks really cute, and it's cursive, so this is how I do it. So now that it's on there, you can actually use pins to hold it down, but I really don't need that necessarily. And what we're going to do is go in one side and out the other from the chain, from one chain to the other chain. And we're going to start sewing this in, doing that, going one chain to the other chain and sewing this on. And you want to keep on holding that down, making sure it doesn't get crooked on you or anything like that. It's just eyeballing it pretty much. You will basically get the hang of it once you make a few of them, or if you have to redo this again, you know, it's not even that hard to do. And I like to stop, make sure I'm getting this on there right. It's okay if the chain is twisted. And this part, I want to make sure I get the white yarn and the scarf. I'm going to turn this a little bit so I can actually get a better thing of it. So I'm getting in one chain, out the other chain, as you can see. I'm just pulling it through. And I'm working on my E first. In one chain, out the other. In one chain, out the other. Now we're going to start working on that V, which everything just got messed up over here, so I'm going to fix it again. It's part of the process. And there we go. So my V, I want it up a little bit, so I'm going to go straight down. And it's pretty much just like writing your name on here, but you're sewing it. And this is a great way to just like personalize any project. It gives it that wonderful, great look that anybody will adore. Oh, I poked myself, ouch. Don't do this at home. It happens. Okay. So now I'm going to go up on my V, so I want to make sure it's nice and even. Okay, and now for the O. And I'm just going to go around the O. And now we're going to get to the E, so I'm going to make it like another straight line. So now for my L. I said E when I mean L. That looks good to me. And I'm going to hold it down and start sewing it in. Actually, this needs to be going down more. And that's the part. You just got to eyeball this, adjust it the way it's supposed to look, the letters. Cursive is the best way to do this. camera, sorry. Okay, so at the end there you're going to cut off a loose end of your yarn. Okay, you're going to tie these two together. And before I tie them in, you want to take your hook and take one of the red part of the hook, like the loop, just the top of it, and feed it through one side, and then you want to grab another one that's closer to that too and feed the other side of the strand. This allows it not to lift up on the side and have a little flip. You want that to be nice and secured down, like if it's sewn on there really well. So I'm double tying it now, and we just take our needle again, and we're going to take our loose ends and sew them in. And I like to go up the chain and back down. Fasten off. There we go. And then I'll take the other loose end and do the same. Now, there it is, the word love spelled in there. And that is just great. This is not going to come off in any way. It's sewn on there, it's secured, and it's beautiful. And you guys can always personalize anything you do by just doing it cursive and sewing it on there. Isn't that beautiful? I haven't finished all my tassels, but I will be posting a picture of the finished project with the tassels at the end. But you finish yours up, and I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Please share with me on my group, Havoc Mayhem Creations, and send me a picture of what you did with yours. Until next time, happy crocheting. This is Sabrina.